Unit 6. Exercises. Number 1. In marketing research, consumers commonly participate in interviews, focus groups, or the like, during which they indicate their desires, preferences, or in marketing terms, their wants. Some methods also try to detect the consumer's subconscious emotions, however with varying rates of success. Such behavioral methods, where humans watch how fellow humans react when, e.g., exposed to a certain brand or product, manually coding and categorizing their emotions, are labor-intensive and consequently are rarely applied or applied in small sample sizes. Human-inspired AI makes such methods possible on large scale, and even delivering instantaneous results will be possible. For example, via facial recognition in a supermarket, one might detect shoppers' emotions facing a shelf displaying the products of a new product launch. Collecting a vast amount of data from all supermarkets participating in their respective launch nationwide would yield quite solid results. Number 2. Deborah Harris and Patty Jufer's study of representations of chefs in U.S. food media finds significant differences between how male and female chefs are portrayed. Great male chefs are repeatedly represented as dedicated, creative, and highly trained professionals, iconoclastic rule breakers with a unique vision or style. In contrast, female professional chefs are often judged in terms of home-style cooking, which devalues the training and skill required, and, by representing their food as amateur and homely, links them to a domestic tradition rather than the professional standards, which are crucial to recognition in the culinary field. In this way, the operations of the culinary field reproduce gender inequalities by valuing qualities associated with a masculine tradition more highly and excluding women from criteria used to classify great chefs. This limits a female chef's ability to gain recognition and to accrue the economic, cultural, and symbolic rewards that recognition generates. Number 3. It is sometimes argued that the spread of digital technology will serve to equalize opportunity for small companies, as well as established media giants. Digitization and the growth of the Internet are indeed reducing many barriers to market entry and creating opportunities for smaller enterprises and firms offering skills in new forms of content creation, such as computer games. However, the digital environment favors strong and recognizable brands. In the words of one UK publishing executive, brands make it easier for the customer to make choices as the world gets more complicated. Without recognizable brands and worthwhile levels of consumer awareness, potential newcomers to the online universe may well find that the high initial costs involved in establishing an online presence, typically involving extensive campaigns on conventional media, represent an effective deterrent to market entry. Large and established media content providers with strong brands and access to valuable back catalogs of images, text, and sound have several advantages when it comes to exploitation of the additional scale economies made possible by digitization. Number 4. People are confronted with the cognitive dissonance aroused by the thought that one has stereotypes of others that guide one's social judgments, and the thought that one is a good, fair, and rational thinker. According to dissonance theory, one of these cognitions must change in order for dissonance to be eased. Which one changes? It is almost always the cognition that is most open to change, and in this case it is one's cognitions about stereotyping. Rather than think that we use stereotypes to evaluate others, we simply do not allow ourselves to come to such a conclusion, and we instead convince ourselves that we are indeed a fair, logical thinker by making our social judgments after a considered assessment of the information about the target individual. In other words, we often either do not realize or do not consciously acknowledge that we do indeed stereotype others, or that our stereotype-derived impressions of them might be inaccurate. This self-delusion helps us maintain our stereotypes, while reducing the possibility for cognitive dissonance related to our self-concept.